let's get to it. All right. Tyler, I know you had a last minute addition on this one.
Did I?
Yeah. You sent me a last minute email on this one, right?
I think so.
So why don't you go ahead and lead off on today's? How's that sound?
Is it the what I read?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
You want to run down how the get it or forget it?
Okay, yeah. So the way it works, Ty, is, obviously you pick a book you read and you review it, and basically the review tiers are 5-star in essence is must have, 4 stars get it, 3-star is you don't feel one way or the other, 2-star is forget it, and 1-star is a hard pass. Okay, so those of you try to stick to that when you come to your ultimate conclusion after you tell us about the book. Okay.
okay.
All right, but here you go.
I tried to. My memory is kind of lacking, but I'll do the best I can here.
Okay. You are my son.
I skimmed back through it, and there's quite a lot that happens.
Okay.
But the brief summary is, can't remember the guy's name, but he's obsessing over Carnage's work, with being a serial killer and a villain. And he tries to emulate how he murders people, kind of like making it artwork rather than just pure brutality. And then Carnage finds him and he's kind of perplexed with this guy's obsession. That's all I really have there about that. And because it kind of goes back and forth on timelines. And then he meets this boy towards the end, because Carnage he's kind of confused as to what he wants to do with himself right now. I don't think he has like an objective in mind. And he meets this boy that is being bullied at school. And then when the boy finds out who Carnage is, he kind of hires Carnage, per se, to go beat up these bullies and scare them. But then he obviously kills all of them and murders them in a nasty way. And then the kid doesn't feel good about it. And then he kind of makes Carnage feel poorly about what he did. So it kind of seems like he's trending in a way to where he wants to be kind of like a lethal protector in a sense. And then it goes away.
Goes away.
Yeah, and then that's
You're
pretty
muted,
much it. That's all I can remember.
I didn't realize that David Michelini was writing this. I like him, but I'm not a huge Carnage fan now. It looks like I need to look into it.
But I kind of have 2 ratings. I would definitely say it's a get it. Like a 4 if you love Carnage already. But I don't think you're going to be swayed from a story perspective if Dad, you're not a huge Carnage fan, so I wouldn't say absolutely get it for you. I'd probably say it's probably a 2 from your eyes.
You're muted, Kevin. Now you're frozen.
Am I good?
So I guess if I was giving it a real overall rating, it's probably a 3.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. There we go.
Jeez. That's some Exorcist looking moves right there. Holy cow.
What I think I said while you guys couldn't hear me was just, I think that's a fair way to do it anyway, Ty. I think we all kind of disclaim ourselves a little bit with that every time, that if you're a big, fan of what it is, up to a must-have. But yeah, we kind of teeter between two based on whether you're a fan of the content.
Like, I don't think it's good enough to where it's going to make a new fan.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. You've definitely started to sway me in my life, appreciating Carnage art more. That's for sure. But yeah, definitely not a character fan. So
yeah, that's the original grab for me. Was how cool I think he is.
Yeah,
because obviously he's a very brutal being.
Right. But it sounds like from what you're saying with the story too is he's kind of considering leaning into more of a kind of a
like an
anti-hero kind of mode too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that's weird they would do that. That's what they did with Venom, right? I mean,
yeah,
somebody's got to stay bad.
Right.
There's it's on the 4th book now, I think, is coming out next week. Don't quote me. So I still got a lot more to read.
Okay. And we actually are selling this book on. Wait, or did you get this off of the Whatnot show off of us?
No, I bought it the week it came out off the wall.
Yeah, is this the second? This is the second printing too, right? Is this the second printing? No.
No, it's the regular number 1.
Oh, I've got the second printing of this for sale on the Very Variant show, right? Yeah. I'm going to run it one more time, I think, this week. And
I did buy a variant. I got it right here. Because usually, at least with Carnage and Venom, I always get a variant of pretty much of every book. And I like this one a lot. Carnage has got Spider-Man and Venom by the neck and a bunch of dead Avengers on the bottom.
Here, let me see. Hold
you
on.
You got to drop the overlay.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let me see.
Oh,
that's.
Wait.
Oh, there we go.
You got some bad lighting over here.
Oh. Just tilt it
that
down.
is a pretty sick. That is a pretty sick cover, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of dead Avengers down here.
Yeah, you don't see any of them in at least the first book. So it's probably just
that's the way variants are. They have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. My biggest frustration with that ever was when Fantastic Four re-released and they had Fantastic Four covers for everything. And they were in like no stories, of course. Yeah, that was my first frustration.
Yeah, here's X-Men with Fantastic Four on the cover, just because.
I'm just kind of giving you guys a heads up now, but Patrick said he might be ready to jump in anytime. So I'm trying to keep an eye on his screen. I'm going to add him immediately as soon as well, let me put him in right now. I don't know if he can talk yet, but he's got his pick up.
He's putting you in.
Patrick or Chelsea. All right, I'm just gonna take him off until that it changes away from his pick. But he kind of gave me a heads up. He's 5 people away, so
sweet.
That'd be sick. So I'm gonna interrupt with that, regardless of who's talking.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's like breaking news.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. All right, Mike. You want to go next?
Yeah. So I received my DCBS order yesterday. It was huge.
Too, actually. Yep. Okay.
It was huge. They shipped it in a diamond box. There was so many books in there, but this is I got this yesterday and I was excited to get it. This is the Passageway by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. I think they really work well together. And I missed the free comic book day book for this what is it, the Boneyard Mythos or something like that. I can't remember. It's down there in the corner, but I missed that. So I don't know if that leads into this at all.
This was one of your, I think this is one of yours Beyond the Lookouts, right?
Yeah. Because this whole world they're building is they're slowly doing it in comic book form and books like this, which is this is a hardcover graphic novel version or part of the story. So it's going to be put out in different forms over the next couple of years. So this we've got. There's I have a few pictures here. So there's a lighthouse And on the island or on the rock that the lighthouse is on, this huge hole forms. So John, who is a Canadian part of the Canadian Geological Society, comes there to investigate it, see if he can figure out what it is. They throw rocks down there, and there's seems to be no bottom. He sends down a drone, and when it gets down there pretty far, a lot of birds come flying out and kind of wreck it and stuff like that. So it kind of crashes. So he's gonna get it the next day. The lighthouse is occupied by someone called Sal, or Sally's her full name, and she's been there for 25 years as the lighthouse keeper.
Okay.
So that night he's sleeping, and he kind of looks out the window. She sleeps up in the lighthouse by the light, and he looks outside, and she's just out there looking real creepy and real sketchy. So real evil look in her eyes and stuff, and it freaks him out. So he kind of hides, goes looking for her the next day, and he's over by the hole. He's over by the hole, and she sneaks up behind him, cracks him in the leg, and pushes him down into the hole. And he falls down and lands. And then from that point, it just goes insanely off the rails crazy. Really hard to describe what's going on. I'll leave it for everybody that's a fan of Jeff Lemire and Sorrentino's to go read it for yourself.
Okay.
It's out there. It's really crazy. He has those flashbacks. He had tragedy. It looks like his mother had drowned when he was a child. So he has flashbacks of that. It's I think more will come to light as the next volume comes out. This kind of wraps up, but doesn't wrap up. It's very confusing to me. One thing I thought was kind of cool was right here in that center. That's his phone, and the screen saver on his phone is actually the cover for
Primordial
book. Primordial number 3 that Jeff Lemire and Sorrentino had done. I thought
that's cool. You love little Easter eggs like that. Yeah.
Neat little Easter egg he stuck in there.
Yeah.
So it was it's really good. The artwork is phenomenal. And for someone like me that buys everything Jeff Lemire, it's a must-have for me. It's a must-have for Jeff Lemire fans. But for someone that's not really a diehard fan of his, it might be a pass. It's a horror also, so you've got to be a fan of Jeff Lemire, a fan of horror, or a fan of Sorrentino's artwork, and kind of Twilight Zone-y stuff, unexplainable things happen.
Yeah, I was going to ask that if it was horror-y or sci-fi or which way it leaned or whatever, but
yeah, it's more horror than
okay.
Yep. So kind of like Tyler, I put caveats on it. You know, if you're a fan of this, and this, it's a must-have. If you're not, I would probably say it's a forget it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I appreciate that because I was thinking, man, this might be some. Because you know what this reminded me of?
What's that?
Open Range. Remember the show where a big hole appeared? Yeah.
And as I was reading it, it really had an M. Night Shyamalan feel to it as far as how it seemed like everything was kind of quiet. And I don't know if anybody else gets that from his movies. You know, there's a lot of quiet talking and slow paced stuff until the action picks up. So that's kind of the feeling that I got as I read this.
Okay.
That, if they ever make this into a movie, I would want M. Night to be at the helm on directing it.
Okay. Say that it's the last part again. I'm sorry.
He would really get the atmosphere of what I was getting when I read it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I definitely love M. Night stuff for that same kind of thing too. But yeah, if it wasn't horror-y. But so anyway, looks like Pat's not quite ready. Mike, you can add Pat, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Let me-
so I just wanted to have you pay attention to him
Right.
while I'm doing my review. So if that changes from his profile pic,
Mhm.
just put him up. You know.
Yep.
But I'll get into mine real quick. This is one that I think I reviewed 2 other issues of it. Crimson Reign number 5.
Uh-oh.
This is the final issue of Crimson Reign, and I've said it. I think every time I reviewed it that I really like this story a lot, and I recommend it to you in particular, Tyler, because I know you like the solo story a lot. And this book starts where Solo's story ended. If you want to kind of,
Okay.
have that as a, way to get into it. But Kira's the, kind of the leader of Crimson Reign, and she's basically, vying for power against the Empire. And I don't really want to spoil what happens in this final issue, but I can tell you this, that, okay, here we go. Hey, Mike.
I actually did read into the first one of the 2 pages about how she's doing a lot of recruiting.
There's nobody else that comes around.
You want to put him center, Kev?
Yeah. I started panicking.
Who is
Look at
that?
that. Walt Simonson's on our show. We've officially made it.
So
We're
is
looking through somebody's hair, though. There we go.
look at Patrick's got a stack.
Apparently that one's up. Is it?
What's
there's
he
a
got?
jack on.
Somebody asked about it, so I went and looked on the web, and I found one pretty expensive copy, but it was out of print, and even used books, so we didn't seem to have any.
We're live on location at Heroes Con. Nice. There's
Yeah, I enjoy it.
one of our favorite hosts, Patrick,
With one of our favorite writers and artists.
and one of our favorite writers and artists, Walt Simonson. His lovely wife, Chelsea, on camera. Looks like Walt's holding up.
Oh, there he is.
Great guy.
Can't see it.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
Anglers.
Hey,
We have a podcast, and I was trying to get them up and give them a shot up. I don't think it's working. It's Xcellar if you want to try. I don't know if
What's it called?
Xcellar Comics.
Xcellar Comics?
Xcellar Comics.
Hey, Xcellar Comics. Outstanding.
hey,
Hey.
that's awesome.
I think they did hear
I
it.
think
They
Thanks,
got to
Walt.
see you in Baltimore last year, so they're
Oh,
big
okay.
fans too. So
All right.
I really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it. Thanks,
much.
Walt.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for lugging this stuff around. I won't catch it.
Thanks again.
All right.
Nice.
Wow.
I'll get back on in a minute. Thanks, guys.
Okay,
Wow.
thanks, Pat.
That was cool.
Man.
The timing was crazy because right when you're like calling my name as he's on there, Cora had come in asking me a question.
Oh, man.
It's like, yeah, quickly, I have to pay attention to this. Oh no.
And then I left my pickup because I'm worried about getting the pictures in the right spot, but I left my
Yeah.
He's making
Why-
me regret not going to say hi to Rick Leonardi.
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah. Yeah. We're big Leonardi fans, so at least I am. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My attraction to him is Spider-Man 2099, and I had the first issue there with me.
Oh man, you got to do those kind of things. You're gonna regret that later, buddy. Yeah.
I don't know. I get starstruck.
I'm the same way. I know
It just feels awkward walking up and be like, "Hey, I'm a random person. Can you sign my book?"
I feel the same exact way. Trust me, but what I will say this is I feel that way kind of going up to him, and then in the interaction, I'm totally uncomfortable, and like you said, Star Trek as well. But then I can tell you every time afterwards, I'm so happy I did it.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's kind of too like a lot of my deeper character fanmanship is based off appearance. I don't really know much about 2099.
Yeah.
So if he asks me about it and wants to talk about it at all, I'll be like, I just think he looks cool, man.
Hey,
So
that's
I feel like that'd be really awkward.
That's a perfect answer. I guarantee he gets it all the time. Yeah.
Because he draws it. He doesn't write it. So
Yeah.
you can say, writing's trash. I'm all about the art.
Yeah. But that's the big thing that I do to kind of put myself at ease with it. I mean, you know, in that, when they do those kind of things in that environment, they get all kinds of people of all different personalities and shapes and sizes. There's no wrong way to be or a way that would turn them off or make them think that it, you know, as long as you're nice and, you know, you're not an idiot or an a-hole, you know, I think they love it, you know, especially if you're just there, especially you get starstruck. I think they really like that too, you know?
Yeah.
And they know how to handle that kind of stuff too, you know?
He's obviously had years of practice of meeting people, so.
Yeah, exactly. So I was going to say, like literally right now, I'm like grinning so hard, my cheeks are hurting. I don't know whether I'm happier about what just happened with, what Patrick did for the show with Walt, or when Johnny showed up randomly. I don't know which got me more excited there for a second.
Yeah, what star is having a greater effect on you, Johnny's Burger or Walt Simonson? I mean,
Right. But that was great. I can't wait until Patrick actually is able to watch the episode too and experiences that from our perspective, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe for other viewers, and including me, can you explain who that was?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So he's and this is from my perspective. Mike will get in it more deeply, I'm sure. But Walt Simonson's the quintessential Thor, artist, and he didn't write anything. It was just all art, right?
No, he wrote it.
He wrote it. Okay.
Yeah, I think he had when you say stuff like this, you kind of have to take the Stan and Kirby stuff and set it aside, and it can't be a part of this conversation.
Okay, yeah.
It's so important. But yeah, Walt's run on Thor, I think, is the most important run and probably the most well-loved run on Thor. He wrote it, and he did the artwork for it. There were a couple times I think he had a couple stand-ins for a few issues here and there, but yeah, it's one of the best Thor runs out there.
And his wife, or tell him about his wife, Mike.
Yeah, Louise. She's a writer, and she was involved with the Death of Superman storyline. I think actually there was an interview. I can't find footage of it. I saw it years ago, where they're trying to they're in a Superman meeting and they're trying to discuss storylines and stuff like that. And I think she's the one that said, "Why don't we just kill the son of a gun?" And everyone was like, "There's an idea," and they did. But she is co-creator for, I think, Power Pack. Her and Walt worked on X Factor together. He drew
some New Mutants too.
She wrote New Mutants. I think he may have done a couple issues here or there. But yeah, his biggest thing is Thor. It's he did a run on Fantastic Four also. He's pretty much done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, basically, Ty, if you see any Thor that you'd recognize older than 10 years old, you'd probably thinking of Walt's work. Yeah. It's all great. Yeah.
The omnibus of his work, it's hundreds, $300-$400 for those things. It's actually probably cheaper to get the singles, even with the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill, which that's the big book in that series.
Yeah.
It's a few $100s. I don't have it.
And me and Mike met Walt, 3 years ago now, right, Mike?
Yeah, 3 years ago. Him and Luis were at the Baltimore.
Yeah, and
Very,
I
very nice.
I don't know whether you remember this or not, Ty, but I actually have a comic book that Ayla created of Thor and Iron Man,
Uh-huh.
and Walt signed. I had Walt sign that,
Oh, really?
and he signed to Ayla, great job, or to Ayla, great work, Walt Simonson, because it was her drawings of Thor. It was awesome.
That's cool. I got to see that.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, and that's the other thing too. Aside from everything we just said, or I said, Mike said, it's he's a great guy. He was not only very personal. I mean, you can obviously see Patrick is
Yeah, you
just
can
like
tell with how he just treated Patrick.
yeah, exactly. And the cool thing that Patrick mentioned earlier is while you're waiting in line, if he gets up to take a water break or stretch his legs, he'll walk down the line of people and socialize with everybody in line up into and including we were last in line, I think, weren't we, Mike, when we were waiting
Close
for
to
him?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he came all the way back and signed stuff for us in line, and we got pictures with him and everything. It was awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he doesn't charge for his signatures.
Yeah.
They ask him and Luis ask that you make a donation. They have a charity there that you can make donations to. He'll charge for sketches because that takes more of his time. But yeah, just really, really, you can tell they really appreciate the fans.
Yeah.
I think Rick was charging. I saw a board.
Yeah, it seems it's uncommon for them not to charge now.
Yeah.
That's why he's kind of pointing that out with Walt. So it's everybody charges, right?
And if they don't, they'll say first 2 are free, and after that, it's $5 or $10 or whatever. And I say, I mean, you know, when you
That's a
start
good
getting,
system. You don't want somebody bringing up 30 books.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
they've got to watch that too. Yeah, that's one thing. It's like, you know, you got to realize there are other people in line. You can't just
Right.
bring someone that's been writing for 40 years. You can't bring up a whole stack and
Yeah.
Right. Bring his entire line of Thor up to the desk.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's a big run. Yeah, pick and choose.
Whew. That was great though. Anyway. All right. I'm gonna get back.
We're going to Baltimore this year, so we'll have to do some more of that.
Yeah. When is that?
October.
I think I talked to Dad. I definitely want to try to plan to go to that with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely, you got to go. I'm going Friday and Saturday. I probably won't go Sunday. I get everything done Friday as far as meeting artists and creators.
And I usually just go Saturday.
Yeah, Friday it's not very crowded. It's just easier to navigate. So I'll be going both days. So if you want to go Friday with me and then Saturday with both of us, or just Saturday, you know, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And Ayla definitely, she always wants to come now too. She literally calls Baltimore Comic-Con the best days of her life.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So you were talking about this comic book here.
Oh yeah, who cares about this now?
Right.
So anyway, this is a great story though. I liked it a lot. Even if you aren't a Star Wars fan, I think this is a get it. It's really a strong story. But yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan, in my opinion, this is a must-have. Unless you particularly hate Kira for some reason, because she is the main portion of this book. But I like her, you know, and I don't hate Solo Story, but like I said, I think Tyler loved that movie too, which she's obviously a big part, and that's where you kind of get to know her. So if you jump into this without watching that, you might need some adjustment time. But overall, strong story. And what I started to say before we got interrupted was I won't end how this ended exactly, except this is actually a trilogy involved in the War of the Bounty Hunters. So War of the Bounty Hunters was in essence part 1 of this big trilogy. Crimson Reign is part 2. And oh man, see, taking notes. Didn't take the notes.
Didn't I give you one of these?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Last week.
Can I ask you who that Sith guy is? The guy with the lightsaber and the cool mask?
That's Vader.
No, not on this cover, dingus. The guy part of Kira's team. He's I got the book. I got all my books right here.
They are that. I can't remember his name. It's nobody I've heard before. I've read this book, so I can't remember it right now. But he's a part of the Knights of Ren. because basically what she's doing is she's getting all of the different, warring factions.
Yeah, this guy.
Hold on, let me pull that up here real quick. He's a knight. He's one of the Knights of Ren. He's the leader of the Knights of Ren.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't remember his name right now. I'm sorry.
Wow.
He's cool though. And he really plays a big part in the end too. I really liked him a lot. Gosh, man.
In the back of that last issue, because I just bagged and boarded my copy and I flipped through. It does tell you when it continues this fall. I think it's this fall.
Yeah. What's the name of the third part of the trilogy though? Did you notice that?
I noticed it, but I forgot it.
Tag
And my book is in a box, which my table's sitting on, so I can't
something
even get
Dark
it out.
Empire or something. It's
Who's
something
on first?
Empire.
What's the name of the guy on third base? Anyway, sorry.
But anyway, great story. Definitely a get it for everyone. Must have for Star Wars fans. I enjoyed it a lot from beginning to end. Everybody, and it's a real nice, smooth, easy read too. Nothing complicated. Although the story's pretty complex, the way it's written, it really kind of flowed really well for me. So I enjoyed it a lot for that in general as well. So
Well, I'm glad you said to watch, or that it follows Solo Story, because I watched that, but I would probably rewatch it and then read these 5 issues.
yeah, definitely it would be the best plan. So.